We as people are so very interesting. All of us. Me, you, like everybody. And I love human behavior. I love watching people. Love trying to figure things out. I stopped to go into the store for some stackable trays to organize some paperwork. And I paused for a second. I was like, do I want to go into the store? My lipstick's pretty bright. Like, I got a little more makeup on today. And I'm like, what am I even thinking? Most of the time I go into places, I don't even have any makeup on, right? Or anything. I always have some kind of lip gloss on, though. Always. But I'm like, what? You wear your hat backwards sometimes just because. Like, you wear your shirt inside out on purpose to be uncomfortable, to do things. And I'm like, why would I even have that thought? It was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, wait a second. Is it really about the lips? I'm like, I'm in my tennis shoes. And I'm like, tennis shoes and bright pink lipstick does not go together, right? Or something. It was just like, man, I'm having the weirdest conversation with myself right now. And I'm like, it's interesting because we all do weird, insecure things occasionally, even if we've worked on insecurities for most of our life, which I have, because when I was growing up, the insecurities were incredibly tough, because we were very broke growing up, and homeless numerous times, things like that. So, I had a few issues growing up, and I just kept pushing through. I just do things anyway. Work through problems, work through fears, work through feeling inadequate, crazy things like that, just to be where I am today. And most of the time I feel pretty dang good about myself. I put a few pounds on that I haven't taken all of yet, but normally I'm pretty confident. I walk like it, talk like it, act like it, and some people take that as an intimidation thing. Like, I've had people tell me, like, you're kind of intimidating. And I'm thinking to myself, I try to be like such a joyous, loving, kind person. Like, how is it I'm intimidating? And they're like, well, you just seem so self-confident. I'm like, so my self-confidence makes you feel intimidated. So it had nothing to do with me or what I was projecting. It had to do with their view of themselves and what they were feeling. Now, I didn't make these people feel intimidated. Whatever's going on inside of them, had them feeling that. Not by what I was doing, because I was being nice, right? But sometimes we're a little tougher on ourselves. Like, I had to pause and go, what am I even thinking? Like, that's ridiculous. And it was a matter of like a second thought and conversation I had in my head, and I like opened up the car and went in the store. I was just like, no, that's ridiculous. How silly is that? But I know there's some people out there that are so insecure and still stuck in that mode that it's debilitating, and people would not get out of the car and go into the store, right? And I feel for that. So if you're out there and you're somebody that would have just got back in your car, or not even got out of the car to begin with, and just drove off, letting the mind have control, like, let me tell you, you're going to miss out on some life and some really great challenges and really great things to come if you allow your mind to control what you're going to do. So mind controls the body, body controls the mind, and it goes with physiology as well, mental, and the anatomy and physiology of the body is like incredibly cool. So take yourself under your own command and say, heck no, I don't care if I don't have makeup on, I don't care if I do, I don't care what I'm wearing, I don't care how it is I gotta go into the store. Now, let me restate a little bit. I mean, if you go into Walmart, sometimes I'm in there, I'm like, what are these people thinking? Like, they're in their slippers and their pajamas, and hair not done. I mean, they literally look like they stepped out of bed. I think that is the extreme, of not caring at all. And I think there's a difference between being a little self-conscious and completely not caring about anything, because we still have to care about our surroundings and other people and such, and ourselves. So that might be the extreme in the opposite direction. So meeting in the middle with our behaviors and ourself, just asking ourselves, do I care too little or do I care too much? Because both are extreme, and then there's the happy middle, right? So anyway, thought I'd confess that. Later.